I was an amateur boxing at 93 kilos and I was fighting men 115, 116 kilos. And I was still putting their lights out. Once you're a strong bloke, you're a strong bloke. 20 pounds, 10 kilos, don't get me wrong, it is a lot, but once you get to a certain size, I think it's okay.
Well, let's have a look at the tail of the tape, because this is how they shape up. Parker, 33 years old, Wardley, 30. There was a moment at the press conference, actually, I want to speak to you about this one, guys, where Wardley suggested maybe there's miles on the clock for Joseph Parker. Whilst he is 33, there's over 100 fights there, amateur and pro. Could that be a factor?
I don't believe so. Miles on the clock. I mean, we saw Joseph Parker's last performances. Didn't really look like there was any miles on the clock there. I mean, there's miles on the clock for Wardley though, with the way his nose is and whatnot. That does play a factor. Parker might be able to exploit that and take advantage of that as well.
How Fabio fights, really, the more miles would be tolling up on Wardley's clock, because he likes to fight Wardley, but Joseph Parker's got. Listen, I think he's a more well-rounded fighter. I do believe that. I mean, the Joe Joyce fight, I know they said he wasn't very well before that fight. Nonetheless, it was that can shorten careers on both sides. I mean, Parker, it was a brutal, long fight that he resorted in getting knocked out in. But since then, he's come back. I think George Lockhart has played a big part in the resurgence in his career, along with obviously Andy Lee, who's a great trainer. But this fight is going to, I believe it's going to come gel into a really, really good heavyweight fight.
So as well.
One of the factors has been activity. That's what people are talking about. Whilst Joe Parker has been on a tremendous run of form, he's had about 4 rounds in about 18 months, whereas Fabio Wardley has had about, he's over 20. Yeah. Is this a factor?
That could be a factor. But it comes down to who the person is individually. Some people get ring rust and others don't. Some people sit on the shelf, and when they sit on the shelf, they're a bit better. They feel a bit more fresher. So I think it comes down to who the actual individual is.
It is that, and I think Frank put it quite well, because Joe Parker's been talking about levels, right? That's been his key word about this fight. And Frank said it might be levels, but Fabio's got a leveller, and we see that leveller. We saw it against Justice Hooney, we saw it against Fraser Clark. It's serious power.
Everybody says this about Fabio Wardley. Like Dave's been in the ring with him, and Dave's had a better amateur career. But Fabio Wardley does have that. It's not.
He's got zap.
We need to kind of get rid of that perception that you bet Fabio Wardley's competing now at world level. He's a world level. He's a world level fighter. So he needs to be respected for what he's done. But like we keep saying, we're going back to it. If a gun's to my head, I would pick Parker, but I would not be one bit surprised if Wardley turned his lights out.
Can I add something quickly?
Add one quickly, go on.
I think a lot of fighters have the wrong approach when they look at fighters and they sit there and think, oh, you haven't boxed at a certain level.
100%.
It's a very wrong mentality. You're going to get surprised in there. People are going to go in there, haven't boxed at a certain level, and they're going to hit you with a shot, do something that's going to surprise you, and you think you can more or less outwit them and be smarter than them because you've been there before.
Okay, thank you, David. Thank you, Sam. We are building up. That's all coming later tonight. But let's head over to Thomas Triber now and get this action underway.
Let's first welcome to the ring, Jordan Ellison.
Well, here comes Jordan Ellison. 78 bouts in total. He is a veteran in that away corner from Sunderland, and he's been in there with some tough talent, the likes of Luke Bibby, Adam Azim, Josh Padley, Ryan Garner, James McGibbon, Mark Chamberlain. The list goes on and on. He's one of those fighters who tends to be standing at the end of the fight, so it'll be interesting to see how he gets on when the first bell goes. And here comes the heavy-handed Anton Esson from Gloucester, 25 years old, had a decent amateur career, 40-ish fights, and stopped 18 opponents in the process. He's carried that power through to the pro ranks. He's had 4 fights since he turned over as a pro in 2024, and 3 of those haven't gone the distance. So this could be one of those blink and you miss it, but we'll find out in just a moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Professional Boxing live from O2 Arena, London. It is all being brought to you by Frank Warren for Queensberry, in association with Platform Sports and Gold Star Promotions, along with their great sponsors. 32 Red, Unibet, Riyadh Season, The Ring, That Prize Guy, Global Next Trade, Vow Nutrition, and Flex Mize. A big thanks to those great sponsors. Our referee in charge and scoring this contest will be Bernard Oyet. We get things started with 4 rounds in the super lightweight division. Introducing, fighting out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing gold with white and weighed in officially at 148.8 pounds. Hailing from Sunderland, England, he is a veteran of 78 professional bouts. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jordan Ellison. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, he comes to the ring wearing black with silver and weighed in officially at 143.9 pounds. Hailing from Gloucester, England, he is undefeated with 4 wins. 3 of his 4 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Anton Wonton Essen.
Gentlemen, keep it clean, keep it professional at all times. Remember to protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves, let's go.
Well, good evening, everybody, or good afternoon. An early start here at the O2 Arena. A warm welcome to All or Nothing. You're joined by myself, Darren Rees, and heavyweight knockout artist David Adelaide. The first fight of the evening is these two. Anton Esson fighting in those black and silver shorts versus veteran away corner fighter Jordan Ellison. And Esson getting straight to business, David.
Yes, he is. You're stamping his authority, letting his hands go. You've got the experienced Ellison, of course, just here sussing him out. I think these fights are always good for fighters when they just turn pro. There's no pressure on him. Nobody here in the stadium. He gets to work on his craft under the lights. And these are the sort of things that build fighters. Sometimes you need these experienced journeymen. They're going to show you things that you've never really experienced in the gym before.
It's a really good point. We're here in this magnificent venue, which has been the venue to so many fantastic fights over the years. But these young up-and-coming fighters, yes, okay, they're not fighting in front of 17,000 people this deep on an undercard, but it's great experience. And Anton Esson has got a good, well-matched opponent in front of him, somebody who knows his way around that ring and knows every single trick in the book. Good work there from Esson inside the pocket there, just getting the work in well, working in close, and Ellison comes back with that double jab, straight right hand, something which Esson needs to be careful of.
I was just about to say, you see, I think this is where experience matters. Esson started pretty fast, didn't he? You had Ellison just tucking up, but now that we're halfway through the round, and now Ellison's starting to let his hands go a bit more.
This one's scheduled for 4 in the super lightweight division. Bout number 5 for Anton Esson. 3 of his 4 fights so far haven't gone the distance. And if he didn't catch the ring walk, almost half of his amateur fights didn't go the distance either. So he does carry power, and he's carried it through to the pro ranks as well. But I tell you what, he'll do a good job if he gets a man like Jordan Ellison out of there. But he's working at a good tempo, David.
He is. Both of them are, to be honest. You know, and I suppose these are the advantages we get as fans when we watch these smaller weights.
Esson on that front foot in the southpaw stance as he just mixes it up, body and head. He threw a nice jab upstairs and then just whipped that hook round the left elbow of Jordan Ellison. And he continues to put those shots together.
Esson's got a very good punch selection. He goes downstairs, he goes upstairs. You see he's jabbing now. He's trying to establish the jab again to create distance. You've got Ellison at pot shots every now and again. They're trying to upset Esson's rhythm, but Esson's a busy fighter, so he still lets his hands go, which is good.
I tell you, as this first round comes to a close, David, one of the things that I like about Jordan Ellison, who is an away corner fighter, a journeyman, or whatever you want to call him, is sometimes you get those fighters who come and they're pretty negative and they're hard to look good against. I'm sure you fought some of those in your early career. It's nice to see someone actually having a go a bit, isn't it?
100%. I feel like it's harder to knock somebody out when all they do is try to survive and they tuck up. It's easier and it's better when they start to let their hands go. You can let your hands go with them.
In terms of Anton Esson being the opening fight of the night, probably the biggest card of his career so far, almost definitely the biggest card of his career so far. What's he psychologically got to do, David, to just keep himself in the game and just be level, keep his feet on the ground and get the job done? Because surely you get excited when you're fighting in an arena like this, right?
Most definitely. But it builds you as a character. You just got to stay humble, stay true to himself. Soak it all up and take it as an advantage. You know, when you get put in fights like this, obviously there's no crowded, but when you start going in fights like this, you can start to understand what it's going to be like when you climb up the rankings.
Wise words from a man who's been there and done it and been in some magnificent fights of recent times. So this is round two. Anton Esson straight out, trying to take the centre of that ring, throwing some short, sharp shots there, but Jordan Ellison coming back with his own. They've got quite similar styles, actually.
They do. Esson's got to step back when he lets his shots go, rather than just sitting in a pocket. He allows Ellison to fire something back, and he gets caught with a shot in between his punch selection. See, just there, stepping back would be perfect.
Has Esson gauged his distance yet, or do you think he might be stepping into the pocket a little bit too much?
I don't think Esson's gauged his distance yet. I think he's just, like you said, he just stepped into the pocket a bit too much, and I think Ellison's probably realised when he does let his hands go, he's still there to be hit. So if you realise, he'll throw a shot and Esson will retaliate with something, look, and he will land it. Even though it may not do nothing, it just gives your opponent false hope. Sometimes they can sit there and think, okay, they're still there, I can hit them. Rather than stepping back and letting them hit the air.
Nice fast work there to the body from Anton Esson. 3 or 4 shots downstairs and turn up a couple upstairs. Who looks confident in there, nice and relaxed. Just trying to find his rhythm. Looked after by the guys at Nielsen Boxing, he is. And they've got high hopes for him.
Very tidy. That's one thing about Esson. When he does let his shots go, he looks very tidy. And you can see he's cool, calm and collected. Experienced amateur, like you said. He stopped a lot of people. He knows what he's doing in there.
Jordan Ellison got through with a nice jab there, though, from that southpaw stance. It's what comes after that he's got to be careful of, right?
I was about to say, he's still got to stay true to himself and be honest and realise that there's things coming back. Just there. See that bouncing, sometimes you can do it in range and get caught and it can disrupt your rhythm. So it's just about touching and moving back and gauging his distance.
Esson finds himself on the ropes there, not somewhere where he wants to be for a considerable amount of time. But Ellison he's game, and he ain't going to hold up anytime soon. He likes to let his hands go as well, and he certainly ain't going to be one of those fighters who just soaks it up. And this is good work as the pair of them kind of battle it out for the centre of the ring. Nice turn and angle change there from Esson, and then whipped in that lead hook afterwards.
You see the difference in class there when Esson uses his feet. You can actually see it, and yeah, there's a big difference. He just got to use his feet. Remember to use his feet. Keep punching from different angles, and I don't think Ellis will be able to keep up.
Do you think that's what the corner are saying to him in between this break now? Is about the angles and using his feet properly?
Definitely, because look, you got Ellison who just kind of stands there, sits there, waiting waits for him to finish his combination and throw something, rather than when he actually lets his when Esson lets his hands go, uses his angles. Ellison doesn't know what to do.
His experience is Ellison. As I said in his ring walk, he's been in there with some good kids, the likes of your Adam Azims and Ryan Garners and Mark Chamberlains and so on. So he's kind of been there and done it.
Been there, done that. He's worn the t-shirt before, so.
He's got the socks as well.
Yeah.
Seconds out, round 3.
Hang on, we've got a towel in the ring here, but for not the reasons we'd normally have a towel in the ring. And the action continues. The penultimate round of this one, scheduled for 4. If you're just joining us, welcome along. This is bout 1. You're joined by myself, Darren Rees, and knockout artist David Adelaide, who's got a big fight coming up in December. We'll catch up with him about that in a moment. But at the moment, Anton Esson, he's getting straight back to work and starting this round with a much higher tempo than he did the 2 previous rounds. And he's got a bit of a point to prove, and you can understand why, because he's on a big stage.
Yeah, I think his corner would have told him, when you let your hands go and you use angles, you can't keep up. So they probably said, start the zone like that, and don't let him get into it.
Esson loves that inside work. He likes to kind of sit inside that pocket, which at this level is fine, right, David? But when you're in there with kind of someone who's of a higher standard and a bigger puncher, you've got to be really good there, haven't you?
Yeah, you do. You need to. I keep saying you've got to stay honest to yourself and remember that shots can come back. So if you're not using your head, you might be able to, tuck up. But if you're not moving your head or tucking up, you're going to wear the whole shot that your opponent's throwing, which might not be good.
And as a young fighter as well, has Anton Esson not got to count on that punching power? Because 75% of his wins have come from knockout. Yes. He can't expect it to always come from knockout, can he?
No, he can't. But you know what? It's hard to say that to a fighter that stops people in the amateurs and in the pros, because, look, they want to deliver knockouts. And like you said, this is the biggest stage he's fought on. So that's no doubt he wants to deliver a knockout today. Oh,
we can't blame him, that's for sure. And they were good shots there.
That was a good backhand.
That was a nice straight left hand there. Really kind of dug his toes into the canvas and pushed off the canvas to get the power through that one, did Esson.
Classy fighter, Esson. When he lets his hands go, you do see the levels. Very nice fighter.
There's that angle change which Adelaide was just talking about, and those bits of footwork, but he did get caught there as he stood inside the pocket from Jordan Ellison. Good work here as he puts his shots together. Another point which David made a couple of rounds ago was the shot selection, and the shot selection is working well with the accuracy of Esson.
Esson has to use his feet there. You see Ellison's leaning on him, which is a little tactic that a lot of people do with experience. They'll lean on you, try and smother your work. When he uses his feet, there's levels. He just sort of continues to use his feet this last round.
With these kind of type of away corner fighters, David, you see those little tricks, like grabbing the arm on the blind side of the referee, or stepping on the feet, or whatever it is. There's hundreds of little things, isn't there? Yeah, you need to fight these guys, don't you, to kind of learn how to get out of these things and understand when they're coming.
Most definitely, because they do things that are different to what a lot of fighters do. You've got these fighters at the top of the tree that don't do things that journeymen do, and journeymen do things that teach you. Sometimes they do certain tricks, you're like, where did that come from? But then you start to realise maybe later on in the fight that, okay, maybe you're worn out, maybe your legs are tired, or maybe he's feeling a bit more drained than he usually would, and that's because of things like him leaning on him, or him smothering his work. So you need to fight these fighters. They're the ones that help you grow as a fighter.
Absolutely. That's why they call this stage of the career the apprenticeship. Well, here we go then. Round 4. In the super lightweight division, Anton Esson doing very well, but most certainly got a live opponent in front of him who has put some good shots together himself. But Esson has boxed at a good tempo, good shot selection, body and head, head and body. I think he might have heard you, David, because since you talked about the footwork, those angle changes have been coming more often.
Yeah. And you can see Ellison throws less punches when Esson moves his feet.
Because he's not there as much, is he?
Exactly.
And that sort of thing, to point out, is a lot easier said than done, isn't it?
Of course. It's easy to say things and to see it from outside. It's always harder when you're in there.
He's got a good crowd in here as Anton Esson.
Good following here.
Good bunch of them inside the arena, which will be absolutely rammed later on.
Yep. And
the atmosphere will be electric. But those fans who are here to see him and have travelled from Gloucester to see the man who boxed out at the Baker Street ABC will be loving this. And it is so exciting when you're watching a young up-and-coming fighter on their journey, when they're talented, especially when they're putting their shots together well, they're classy. They're aesthetically pleasing, and even better when they stop people. Good shot there from Esson.
Just there, Esson should be stepping back a bit more. You see, rather than him getting caught with silly shots, he should just be stepping back a bit more, finding a better angle, and continue just like that, and continue to let his hands go.
And he did it really well then. He kind of threw a 3 or 4 shot combination, and then just span round, didn't he? And just made sure he wasn't in punching distance.
Exactly. You see, I don't know if you can hear, but the red corner, Ellison's corner, telling him just punch, because they think Esson's just standing there. Esson's just got to use his feet, let him know that he's only going to sit there when he wants to, and that he's fighting on his accord, not Ellison's.
Yeah, the red corner, very vocal there. He's having a really good round, is Jordan Ellison, this round.
He is. But Esson's still showing his class there. But he's just getting caught. He's just getting caught into it a bit too much. I know it's hard. It's easier said than done. When you're fighting on a big stage, you want to improve. You want to prove something to your fans and get everyone hyped up. But he's going to have many, many nights to show them what he's made of. Exactly
that. Special moment. It's your first time boxing in an arena like the O2 Arena, and you express to your friends and family, I'm boxing at the O2, you want to put on a show. Exactly. The second or third time is a bit different. You've been here before, you've made that ring walk before, you know what it's like. But you can completely understand fighters getting carried away. Not that I think Anton Esson necessarily got carried away.
No, he never. He done good there. He won that fight flush out. I think it was a good performance. There's things he's going to learn from that fight as well, because I think Ellison didn't do a lot of tricks, but he just did some things in terms of smothering his work, leaning on him, hitting him straight off his combinations to let him know that he's basically still there. But Esson did good there.
He certainly did. Well, Thomas Triver has got the scorecard, so we shall go over to him right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of boxing, our referee in charge, Bernard Oyette, scores it 39-37 for your winner. And still undefeated, Anton Esson.
But a very well done to Anton Esson, who does the pictures like all fighters do afterwards. And the people who have come over here or travelled to London from Gloucester to see him will be very pleased with that. We'll be ready for our next fight. So over to Thomas Triver.
Let's continue, and first welcome to the ring, Artyom Spatar.
Well, David, what about this for a piece of ring walk music? Artyom Spatar is one of the most well-known away corner fighters on the circuit from Estonia. Last time out, He boxed former Team GB bronze medalist Lewis Richardson in his pro debut. He's been in there with many fighters, and let me tell you, this man knows his way around that boxing ring.
And now let's welcome to the ring, Jimmy Dean Wood.
Well, here we go. A big moment for young Jimmy Dean Wood, 21 years old, from Maidstone in Kent. 3 fights so far, 3 wins, all 3 of them by points. Former 5 times national champion, and that pedigree will help him dearly in the pro ranks. But let me tell you, he's got a tough man in Sparta in front of him, and he will do incredibly well to get him out of there.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 4 rounds in the super welterweight division, brought to you by Frank Warren for Queensberry, in association with Platform Sports and Gold Star Promotions, along with their great sponsors: 32 Red, Unibet, Riyadh Season, The Ring, That Prize Guy, Global Next Trade, Vow Nutrition, and Flex Minds. Our referee in charge and scoring this contest will be Mark Bates. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing black trunks and weighed in officially at 157.3 pounds. Coming to us from Narva, Estonia, he brings a professional record of 5 wins, 17 defeats, 1 draw, with 1 win coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Artyom Spatar. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, he comes to the ring wearing black with pink and weighed in officially at 156.3 pounds. Hailing from Maidstone, Kent, England, he had a stellar amateur career, and now as a professional, undefeated with 3 victories. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Jimmy Dean Wood.
Gentlemen, when I tell you to break, you take a step back immediately. Keep your punches up, obey my commands, and protect yourselves at all times. Good luck to you both, gents.
Well, here we go then. Bout number 2 of the evening. On this card, all of nothing, which will be topped by Joseph Parker and Fabio Wardley later on. Jimmy Dean Wood in the blue corner, boxing out of that southpaw stance with those black and pink shorts. And Artyom Spatar of Estonia in all black, fighting out of the orthodox stance. Jimmy Dean Wood straight to the centre of the ring, trying to establish that southpaw jab and tell his man that this is his part of the ring and he'll be looking after this over the next 4 rounds. And Spatar will have a bit of a game plan up his sleeve as well, let me tell you that. For those who have never seen Spatar before, what he's very good at is making good fighters not look very good. He neutralises attacks and he kind of just soaks up everything which people throw at him. But you always learn from those types of opponents, don't you?
You definitely do. I was just about to say, good measurement of distance from Wood here. Sticks his jab, lands his jab with the first punch he throws, and when Spatar comes out of his own, he steps back. Good measurement of distance here.
Well, it's a good mature start here for Jimmy Dean Wood in his 4th fight. And Al Smith and Eddie Lamb in that corner of Jimmy Dean Wood, just encouraging Wood to just get that jab being busy and establish that jab.
He's got to be a little bit more busier. He gives Sparta that false confidence that he can take risks and throw punches that are unnecessary.
This is a classic feel-out round so far.
It is.
But it's mature from Wood. He's just seeing what Sparta's about, just seeing where the openings are, where the gaps are. And no doubt he'll put his foot on the gas a little bit as the fight goes by, but Sparta got through with a good straight right hand there as he switched stance and switched back.
I want to see Wood go downstairs a bit. First round, go upstairs, go downstairs. Sparta's got the high defence. If you see, he keeps his
stands
hands
up tall,
high.
doesn't he?
He does. I feel like Wood's got to shoot under. Bring them hands down a bit.
Nicely done there from Wood. Just kind of let Sparta throw his shots there and then just counter with a couple of uppercuts. So we're nothing mean or unforgiving, but just a quick reminder that he can catch him when he wants to. But one of the things which Al Smith is shouting at Wood in the corner there is about feinting more often. And he said at the end, double up that feint before you throw the jab, Jimmy Dean. And I think that's how Al Smith wants him to catch his man out, because, as David said, the Estonian Arston Sparta has got that kind of tall stance, that high guard. And there are openings there, because when he throws those shots, he leaves himself open. And quite often, his body's open as well, isn't it?
It is. I feel like you just got to go upstairs, go downstairs, see how he defends his body, see how he defends his head, take advantage from there. It's about punch selection, confusing them. It's about confusing them, because sometimes when these punches are coming straight to the head, it's easy for these journalists to survive. They just tuck up and make the fight forward.
Absolutely. When those brutal body shots come in and they hit just the point, there aren't many people who can stand up to him, if anyone. Especially in these kind of weight categories. Good work there from Jimmy Dean Wood. Through that 1-2 beautifully from the southpaw stance.
Good shot. Good device from Wood's corner. They're telling them to use his feints, which you see that. Once you use your feints, you start to draw out shots from your opponent, which is easier to read.
I was going to say that. Do they need Sparta to commit counter and make him pay for it?
Yeah, both. Wood's got to be first, and at the same time, he's got to make Sparta throw shots thinking he's there when he's not.
Al Smith in the corner there. I don't know how much of that's coming through on TV, but he's constantly telling Wood to just feint.
Yep. Good coach, Al Smith. Very good coach. Knows a thing or two about boxing, doesn't he?
He is. Remarkable boxing brain. Good timing there with that backhand hook from Woods.
Woods established his jab pretty early on in this fight. His jab seems to always land. He just got to mix it because it always comes from the same place.
Well, I know I'm stating the obvious here, but in these 4-round fights, you don't really get too much time to kind of establish anything, do you?
No, it's true. It's a fast-paced fight. It's like doing a 50-meter race.
Good patient work here from 21-year-old Jimmy Dean Wood, who certainly isn't getting carried away. He's focusing on getting the win and the win only. And you can tell he's listening to the instructions.
He is.
He acknowledges it. And the best coaches will always tell you that the fighters who can listen and then put it into action are the best, the most coachable fighters.
The ones that are responsive. You don't want to speak to your fighter and they're not taking in what you're saying or understanding what you're saying. Which clearly shows he understands what you're saying.
Sparta did get through with a little short lead hook there. Good shot there from Wood. Straight left hand, straight down the pipe. Last few seconds of this round. Wood throws that kind of 1-2. Almost waits for something to come back and then counters. Does he need to be busier, David?
He does, just a bit more. You know, he's sticking a 1-2 pot shot. I think he's got it's funny because he's got to take a page out of Essen's book, and Essen's got to take a page out of his book. So, yeah, he's got to be a little bit more busy, throwing punches in bunches.
Punches in bunches. Well, he's a young man with hopefully a long road ahead, and this is just fight number 4 for him, and this will most definitely be very good experience. I've spoken to lots and lots of fighters after they've spoken Sparta, and they all say the same, that he is one difficult man to box. Even if he doesn't look it, when you're in there with him, he's extremely difficult to work out, and he nullifies attacks, he neutralises almost everything which you throw, and it's hard to throw anything which is eye-catching because he's got that tall, high guard, and he soaks most of it up.
Good jab.
Nice straight left hand as well.
His jab's lovely. It's lovely. He's just got to show some selection here in his shots. And his footwork seems to be very good too, once he uses it.
We're doing a good job of getting that southpaw lead foot on the outside of Sparta's lead foot, and making sure that he's winning that lead foot battle. And this is much better tempo. We spoke about Jimmy Dean Wood being busier, and he's certainly been a bit busier in the first minute of this round, the penultimate round. Referee Mark Bates has barely had to do anything. This has been a really nice, clean fight for him.
It has been. Just here is where Wood should be a bit busier. Just here, because if you see when he pauses, is when Sparta starts to stick a little 1-2 or pot shot. Just there, you see.
Is that where you're going back to what you were saying about being busier both before the counter and on the counter?
Exactly, that's about being first and third. There we go. See, when he's busy, he just tucks up, and then he will just stick another pot shot of Sparta. So then that's when he should would finish with his combination.
He's impressive when he puts his shots together, isn't he?
He is. Very young as well. He's 21 years old. He's got a long road ahead of him, which is very good.
Good shots from both men there. Lead uppercut from Woods. Sparta came back with his own straight shot.
I like Wood. Very responsive. I hear what his corner's saying, and I'm waiting to see how he's going to implement it. And he seems to do it very well.
He does, and that is another thing which is easier said than done. Taking instructions and then putting them into action is one thing, and then doing them well is
another.
It's a complete other, yeah.
I can understand why fighters say Sparta makes the fight ugly. I can fully understand that.
Oh, completely. After Lewis Richardson's the only fighter to medal at the Paris 2024 Olympics, after he fought him on the undercard of Fabio Wardley versus Justice Hooney in Ipswich earlier. Was it this? No, it wasn't. I beg your pardon. I think it was on the Altrincham card. And I spoke to him, and he just said, you know, it's just so difficult. It's just so difficult. Even if he doesn't look difficult, you as a fighter can see it, can't you? You can see the things that he does.
certain things he's doing. that could upset Wood's game plan. Not upset, should I say, but throw him off
make
his
it
rhythm.
difficult. Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, I see it.
It's amazing he keeps getting invited back, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
But at least he comes to fight. We like fighters who come to fight, that's for sure.
Definitely better than the ones that tuck up.
We've had none of that so far. Well, there you go. You heard the timekeeper. 4th and final round, 3 minutes. Jimmy Dean Wood, in my opinion, is up on the referee's card.
Most definitely. That's without a doubt. If you see here how Wood uses his footwork. And he's not sitting on the ropes. You'll see Spark will throw a shot and fall short almost every time when Wood uses his feet.
What's nice to see about Sparta as well is the second that the referee breaks him, he walks forward towards Wood. So often you see fighters, they get broken up and they kind of stand there, either go backwards or wait for the opponents to come to them. I like that he fights fire with fire. Even if he's not throwing or matching the amount of shots which are being thrown by Jimmy Dean Wood, he's up for it.
That forces the opponent to work as well. Good jab from Wood. He's got to stop this. Where you see where Wood just stays still and tucks up. Sometimes it's not the best thing to do because it makes Sparta look like he's having a lot more success than he actually is. You see, but when he steps back, it's a way you can see the difference in levels.
Wood does the basics very well.
Now
that
you see here,
jab is nice.
Wood's being active. He's making Sparta have to move around. But look, Sparta's holding on now. As soon as he's letting his shots go, he forces Sparta to work as well.
And Sparta does that quite cleverly, doesn't he? Because he kind of holds on and then instantly puts his hands in the air to say, look, ref, look, break me up. Nice short 1-2 to the head and then just whips in that little spiteful shot to the body, does Wood. Sparta got through with that straight right hand of his, wrestles him over to the ropes. He knows that that final bell is on the way. That's what he's here to hear.
I just want to see Wood here be a little bit more busier, which he is being, but he's throwing his shots kind of in singles. I just want to see a punches and bunch. There we go.
Good, and a nice strong end to the round there. Both fighters doing some good work at a good tempo. Plenty to learn there for Jimmy Dean Wood against a very experienced, very awkward opponent in Artyom Sparta.
I like Wood, very good fighter Wood. When he uses his feet and he's establishing his jab, very good. You see Sparta had no answers for him.
It'll be interesting as he kind of grows and develops into an older, more experienced fighter to see how good he can be when he puts those kind of punches in bunches, to use your term, together.
Definitely. But at the same time, I understand Wood as a fighter. It's harder to throw punches in bunches when your opponents are doing certain things. So,
well, Thomas Triber is posed and ready, so we'll head over to him now.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of boxing, our referee in charge, Mark Bates, scores the contest 40-36 for your winner. And still undefeated, Jimmy Dean Wood.
Well, congratulations to Jimmy Dean Wood, who is victorious and remains unbeaten. The 21-year-old, trained by Al Smith, has got a big smile on his face as he stands and poses for pictures with Artem Sparta, who will be one of the most difficult opponents he may ever come across in his career, especially at the start of it. Loads of learning in that fight, and we are ready for our next bout. So over to Thomas Triber.
Let's now welcome to the ring, Bahadur Karami.
Bahadur Karami makes his way to the ring here at the O2 Arena. He looks tough, and trust me, he is tough. He's been in there with some really talented fighters, the likes of Shakan Pitters, who was the last person to stop him actually 15 fights ago. He's been in there with Dan Aziz and Quibin Aguiarco and plenty of others, and he almost always hears the sound of the final bell at the end of the bout, so it should be a good test for the Royal Marine, who will be announced by Thomas Triber in just a second.
And now let's welcome to the ring, George Karate.
And here is a very relaxed looking George Crotty, a serving Royal Marine, a former Team GB boxer, an extremely talented man who absolutely loves this sport like you wouldn't believe. He was knocking around ringside as things were just getting set up here, just taking it all in, having a look around at this magnificent arena. And he's got high hopes to do some good stuff in the sport, but most of all, he just loves fighting.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 4 rounds in the light heavyweight division. Brought to you by Frank Warren for Queensberry, in association with Platform Sports and Gold Star Promotions, along with their great sponsors: 32 Red, Unibet, Riyadh Season, The Ring, That Prize Guy, Global Next Trade, Vow Nutrition, and Flex Minds. Our referee in charge and scoring this contest will be Bernard Oyet. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing white with blue and weighed in officially at 167.14 pounds. Hailing from Manchester, England, he is a veteran of 46 professional bouts. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Bahadur Karami. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, he comes to the ring wearing white with blue and weighed in officially at 171.11 pounds. Hailing from Royston, England, he is undefeated with 3 wins. One of his 3 wins comes by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is George Karate.
Gentlemen, keep it clean, keep it professional at all times, and remember to protect yourself at all times. Shake hands, good luck.
Well, this is bout number 4 for former Team GB podium squad member George Crotty, who comes out of that blue corner with the blue and white shorts in the southpaw stance.
Very busy.
Against Karami, originally from Iran, now boxing out of Manchester. And as you said, David, straight on that jab and straight to work.
Good. Very busy. You see? Now these things work as an advantage or disadvantage depending on who you are. It doesn't give Karami the chance to settle down. But at the same time, when you're so busy, Karami might just close his eyes and try to bring one over the top.
Well, I tell you what, Karami's got his work cut out here because
he definitely does.
Crotty's thrown about 552 punches and we're about 60 seconds in.
Yeah, which is good. He's trying to make a statement on a big stage. Very understandable.
But it's a good opening part to this round.
I think we've got a cut on Karami's nose there, if I'm not wrong.
He may possibly be. And Crotty just settled down now.
He has. Yeah, we do have a cut on Karami's nose. Crotty just got to stick to them straight shots and attempt to open up as much as he possibly can.
This is good, consistent work, good work rate from Crotty. Karami keeps sticking his tongue out across it. Don't know if he's trying to get inside his head. I don't think it'll work very well, but...
Yeah, tricks of the trade.
Good body work there from Crotty. 2 hooks downstairs and then through that jab upstairs. Throws that screw shot off the backhand and then just pivots round, keeping his man guessing and working at all times.
Intriguing first round.
You can tell that Crotty's got that amateur pedigree, can't he? Just by his feet and the way that he moves.
Definitely.
He just kind of sends that message. I've been here plenty of times before.
He's just got to keep using his feet, not allow Karami to walk him down. But his pot shotting seems to be spot on, which allows, or which stops Karami from throwing certain shots.
The last few seconds of the opening round. Karami trying to do a bit of old man in there at the end of it, David.
Yeah,
but
he tried it.
I think George Crotty's got the skills in the bank to deal with it, right?
Good first one from Crotty there. I like that first one.
But look, he's 30 years old. He's 3-0. I mean, he's no spring chicken, but he's still quite young into his professional career. He's done a lot in the amateurs. If he wants to move on and have some big fights, then he wants to make some statements and he wants to make Mr. Frank Warren take notice, doesn't he?
Definitely. He's 30 years old, but it depends on how they are. You know, if they've taken damage from the amateurs, if they haven't, he seems to be fresh to me. He obviously wants to move at a certain pace. I think fights like this are perfect when you start to just open up big shows, because you start to learn the craft under the stage. You know what it's like. He obviously knows what it feels like to be in a nice change room, getting ready for a fight. It's good he's learning his craft.
Well, from going all around the world with Team GB to being here on the paid ranks in the centre of that ring, in the centre of the O2 Arena under those lights which are scorching hot.
His punch selection is beautiful. Very good.
Karami kind of gets himself inside the distance, doesn't he? Kind of closes the gap and then just seems to stand there with his hands up and doesn't do too much.
Yep, which is the wrong thing to do against a classy fighter like Crotty. Crotty's lead hand's very busy. If you actually watch him, he sticks to jab, and then he'll hold it there, and then he'll switch to throwing a shot to his backhand. And he makes Karami pay, which is also good. You make him miss, you make him pay.
Nicely done as well. Textbook there as he just threw that double jab out the southpaw stance. Just pivoted round with his back foot and made Karami miss.
Difference in corners. You've got the corner beforehand when Rid was fighting, that was very busy. And you got Crotty's corner, he seemed to be
leaving him to it.
Yeah, just let him do what he has to do.
What do you prefer as a fighter?
A bit of both, if I'm honest. Not when, you know, I'm my own fighter. I'm an intelligent fighter too, so there's things that I see, but at the same time there's things that my coach may see that they want me to realise, so they tell me. So I'm a bit of both, if I'm honest.
I guess there's a balance, isn't there? Because it's about kind of not getting too much information and having an overload.
Exactly.
It's getting the right nuggets and then putting them into action, which we spoke about with Jimmy Dean Woods. But good, steady work here from Crotty. Started this fight at a good pace. And if you go into the last minute of the second round, he's still working at a good pace.
He is. He's just got to move a bit more. He's allowing Karami now to hang on to him, which we don't really want. Both his hands down. He's doing a good job of avoiding his shots.
Looking ultra relaxed is Crotty, as he just has his back to the ropes there with his hands down a moment ago, just picking his man off with the jab.
He is. I don't think Karami's too happy about that cut on his nose. That might affect him from fighting for a few weeks.
Yeah, you can't blame him. This is a living for these guys. Lovely straight left down there from Crotty. If you're in the corner of Crotty, who've been very quiet in between rounds, and fair enough, what would you say in between rounds? What you telling your man to just do a couple things a bit more of?
I tell him to do exactly what he's doing, but every now and again stamp his authority on Karami. Rather than move it back all the time, stay there, hit him with a heavy shot, let him know you're actually there. Rather than allowing Karami to just always walk forward.
So when you're saying about stamping your authority, is that with power, with tempo, with
That's with power. That's with power. The tempo is good already. And to be fair, the tempo doesn't seem to be affecting Crotty whatsoever. He's letting the shots go, he's avoiding the shot, but every now and again, plant your feet, digging a heavy shot, let Karami know that something's going to come to him walking forward like that.
But I tell you what, one thing with George Crotty is he's absolutely got the fitness to,
definitely,
especially over 4 rounds.
Exactly.
Round 3.
And I know, just having a chat with him a couple of hours ago before we heard the sound of the first bell, he would have been quite happy to box 6 or 8 rounds tonight.
Yeah.
Lovely shot there. That backhand screw shot. Tiny little step back with his back foot and let it go. Good timing. Nice work from Crotty. And Karami, he's letting him get away with murder here because he's coming in. He's just standing still in the centre of the ring with his hands up and just letting Crotty hit him like a punch bag. And here comes Karami on the front foot. Got through with a sneaky straight right hand there, did Karami, but a couple of shots before that belonged to George Crotty. Well, if Crotty's going to get his man out of there, he's got a round and a half to do it. Karami showing some good aggression now, showing like he genuinely wants to kind of be in there and be involved.
Seems to be unfazed. There, just there. You see when he just when he stays still and lets the shots go. Like here now, he's just standing still, letting the shots go. Good work. Karami just one of them fighters that just walk forward and walk into danger. To be fair, they're easier to get stopped because when they're walking in, you can just throw a big, heavy shot on them and they'll walk into it.
Especially with Karami, he kind of walks in with his head down. The corner just shouted that as well.
Yeah.
Say again, David.
Good footwork from Crotty here. You know, he's got a fighter that likes to walk forward, but he's making him miss a lot and he's making him pay. Just there, you see, look, the referee's talking to Karam and he's bouncing, just staying on his toes. Bouncing. Good shot, look. Beautiful.
Beautiful work. Well, let's have a quick word on the main event later on, David. So, Joseph Parker versus Fabio Wardley, one of your former opponents.
Interesting.
How do you see this one going?
Good fight. I think Parker's got a bit more in his arsenal. He's a bit more seasoned. So, yeah, I think he'll be able to get the dub tonight.
In terms of the people picking Fabio Wardley, do you think they're counting too much on that power, or do you think you really have to take that in consideration?
No, you definitely have to take that into consideration because he's proven it time and time again that he gets a lot of trouble. He's definitely got that in his corner where he can switch the fighter on at any time. So Parker has to be on his game. I think if Parker's not on his game, he's going to be in for a rude awakening.
In that Justice Hooney fight, he got dragged in big time, didn't he? And fought the wrong type of fight entirely.
Completely, and Justice Hooney got greedy. Was it in the 10th round? Yeah, he paid for it.
Well, that one coming up later on. The explosive Fabio Wardley versus, I want to say, a bit of a veteran in Joseph Parker, who has properly been there and done it. And 33 years old, and he's looking like he's having a bit of an Indian summer with Andy Lee in his corner. But here we are in the fourth and final round of this fight between George Crotty and Karami. Both fighters come out with some good aggression and tempo in this fourth and final round. If you're just joining us, welcome along. Whether you're watching on Queensbury or DAZN, you're joined by myself, Darren Rees, and David Adelaide. Loads of fights coming, both on the prelims and then obviously on the main card. And then the big one later on this evening when the O2 Arena in London will light up again for a big heavyweight clash. So many great heavyweight clashes have been in this very venue.
Yes.
And we look forward to seeing another later.
It's becoming the UK's MGM or MSG, you could say.
That's it. It is.
Good work from Crotty. He's keeping his cool. Still bouncing. Karami, you can see Karami makes the fight a bit messy. But Crotty's classiness is actually making Karami look worse than what he is.
Yeah, you're right, because he made him miss terribly then, didn't he? And I think there's a bit of frustration there, because Karami, instead of kind of boxing or, you know, doing the things which he was probably taught to do as a boxer, they're going out the window and he's just charging at him.
He is.
Like
he's
a bull.
having more success in the clinches.
Fair play to him. He's kind of biting down on his gum shield and really having a go here.
He is. Fair play. He's definitely bringing the fire and he's making it entertaining. Pretty classy though. If you just see him, he uses his feet nicely.
I think classy is a really good word for Crotty. It's been a good performance for him. Yes, he's been caught a few times, but there's been bundles of times where he's landed 2 or 3 shots and then used his feet to get out.
Exactly. He's just got to get out of where he is now. This isn't good, especially with his hands down. Because he's given Karami way more success than he actually needs to.
Both fighters meet in the centre of the ring for the last 20 seconds of this bout, which has been an entertaining watch actually. I wasn't sure it was going to be in the first 30 seconds, but it's been good, and I think Karami needs to take big credit for that.
Definitely. He's just shouting and
not that he's done it the most stylish way, but...
Yeah. But I think this has been a good opponent for Crotty because Crotty does look classy here. Only thing I'd say about Crotty is, in the clinches, he should stay switched on because he allows Karami to hit him in the back of his head, hit him on the side, hit him on his ribs. But I suppose he sensed no danger pretty early on in the fight, so it gave him the chance to switch on.
I think also, like we talk about sometimes how pro boxing and amateur boxing is different, and this is such a good example of it.
Definitely.
Like George Crotty would have never have had a fight like this in the amateurs in his 100+ fights, because it's, you know, kind of tit for tat, isn't it? It's very kind of light on your feet, light on your toes, bouncing around. in this situation, he's got Bahadur Karami just flying at him, shouting and screaming. And it's a completely different thing to deal with. But he looked classy in the process. And I'm sure he's going to get the decision here and move to 4-0.
Definitely, it was beautiful. Good.
Well, the referee will bring the two fighters together. If he can get hold of Karami, and Thomas Driver will tell us the score.
I'd say age definitely helped Crotty there as well, because if he was a younger fighter, the thing Karami would have been doing, more than likely would have threw him off.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of boxing, our referee in charge, Bernard Oyette, scores it 42-36 for your winner. And still undefeated, George Crotty.
And a very well done to George Crotty. A big congratulations to him. I know he was itching to get in there tonight. His debut was on the undercard of Brad Pauls versus Denzel Bentley in December last year at Wembley Arena. And I caught up with him after that, and he was so thrilled to have had his professional debut. And one of the things he said, he just wants to be active, he wants to be busy, he wants to be out there, and that's so important for a fighter at this stage in their career.
It definitely is, and I know the feeling of staying active, especially when you're first starting out. I think activity is very important. It's just as important as fighting the right fighter. You want to stay busy, especially when you're first starting out.
Well, hopefully, staying active is exactly what he will get to do, because he'll learn loads about himself in the process. Especially as he gets a variation of opponents, the type of opponents which he got here this evening. But as an amateur, he would have been all around the world. But anyway, we're ready for our next fight, so over to Thomas Driver.
Let's now welcome to the ring, Angel El Cojete Gomez.
Well, here comes Angel Gomez. I've got to say, one of my favourite fighters when it comes to those who travel all around the UK and Europe and around the world in general and fight out of that away corner. The Nicaraguan always comes to fight, takes his job very seriously. He's always there early doors, having a bounce around the ring, checking the ropes out, and he will be up for it this evening.
And now let's welcome to the ring, Zain the Hurricane Ahmed.
But what a moment this is for a young man who goes by the name of Zain Ahmed, a professional debut, and you only get one of those. Got into boxing through his uncle, was a very, very talented amateur, won multiple schoolboy championships. And one of the championships which he won, he was given the trophy by Amir Khan, and Amir Khan said to him, "I will see you in the future." Well, Amir Khan, if you're at home watching, and we'll assume that you are, here he is. This is the future. He's also the cousin of Hamza Shiraz, so a good fighting family.
Very good fighting family. You see Hamza on the opposite corner, supporting him ringside. It'll be good to see what he does.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 4 rounds in the featherweight division. Brought to you by Frank Warren for Queensberry in association with Platform Sports and Gold Star Promotions, along with their great sponsors. 32 Red, Unibet, Riyadh Season, The Ring, That Prize Guy, Global Next Trade, Vow Nutrition, and Flex Mize. Our referee in charge and scoring this contest will be Mark Bates. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing white with gold and black, and and weighed in officially at 130.9 pounds. Coming to us from Chinandega, Nicaragua, he is a veteran of 63 professional bouts. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ángel El Cojete Gómez. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner. He comes to the ring wearing purple with white and weighed in officially at 128.2 pounds. Hailing from Slough, England, he had a stellar amateur career, and now tonight he makes his professional boxing debut. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Zayn the Hurricane Ahmed.
Gentlemen, when it's ready to break, take a step back immediately. Keep your punches up, bang like your hands, and set yourselves at all times. Good luck to you, gentlemen.
Well, there's a few things that we repeat in the boxing business, and one of them is that you only get one professional debut, and this is the professional debut of Zayn Ahmed, fighting out of the southpaw stance in those purple and white shorts against Ángel Gómez of Nicaragua in the white shorts with the black trim in the southpaw stance, just to make things trickier. And we've talked about people wanting to impress tonight, David. Someone who will probably want to impress more than anyone,
yes,
will be this young man.
Agreed, especially on his debut. Like they say, you get many world title chances, many world title shots, but you only get one debut, so you can't redo your debut. And of course he's got his cousins here in Hamza Shivas, and he's got a following here as well, so of course he wants to make a statement. What an arena though to make it in, which is the O2.
It's a good point, and he's in good company here. Adam Azim ringside, Hamza Shiraz ringside, Moses Atama ringside, David Adelaide ringside.
Yes.
I won't chuck myself in there. Good work there from Ahmed. Just stepped out and then threw that 1-2 lead hook beautifully.
Good patience here, especially for a debut. You know, a lot of fighters like to rush their debut and look for a knockout right away. I'm guilty of doing that myself.
And no one can blame you for it either.
Definitely not. You want to make a statement, and you want to show people what you're capable of doing.
I mean, I know we're only 2 minutes in, but Ahmed doesn't look like a kid making his debut at all. He looks really, really mature and kind of like I've been here plenty of times. I know he has in the amateurs, but they are different sports in their own rights. And good gliding around that ring and that southpaw stance he is.
I love the kit as well. You know, it makes sense as his debut. He wanted to come up with something fancy, you know, let everybody know who he is.
He's ticking all the boxes.
He is.
I've got to say, Ángel Gómez, who I've seen many, many times before, at the moment is finding Ahmed a little bit too sharp. He's trying to make his entrance, and every single time he's getting caught on the way in. And if Ahmed can do the job here and get him out of there, this place is going to go wild, because he has sold some tickets, let's say that for sure. Do you remember your professional debut?
I do, like it was yesterday. And
talk us through it, give us the details.
I just remember being in the change room, warming up, getting I think it was Simon telling me, look, you got 5 minutes to your ring walk, you got 3 minutes to your ring walk, 2 minutes to your ring walk. And
What's going through your mind there? Is your heart racing?
No, it never, because of course you don't know what to expect, so I just liked it. And I remember thinking this is going to be the first time a lot of people see how I fight. So I'm going to go out there and just put it straight on this opponent. And I did it. I got the stoppage in the first round.
As you do. And you haven't really stopped since, have you?
Exactly.
And then when we're going again, December 19th.
December 19th, exactly that.
Have you got an opponent?
Yeah, I believe they've got a few opponents they've mentioned. So, but yeah, we're just waiting to see which one signs the contract and going from there.
Massive show in Nigeria.
Yeah,
what a moment, eh?
Exactly.
Well, here we go. Talking of moments. Round 2 for young Zaid Ahmed, who is following the family business in professional boxing. So far, so good. Nice 4 straight shot combination there. Enel Gomez looking a touch wary. He's got his eyes wide open, and there's the reason why, because he got caught with a clobbering straight left down there and then one to the body in a matter of half a second.
Sharp, this is Zaid Ahmed, very sharp.
Doing a good job of drawing Enel Gomez in as well. He's kind of inviting him in, but not too much, being over-exaggerated with it, is he? But he's doing enough to make him commit, and then making him miss, and then making him pay for it. Good work there, fast hands from Ahmed. Defence is great, but punches win fights, and he's doing both brilliantly. In terms of...
I'd like to see him use his jab a bit more. Very good punch selection. Makes his opponent miss, makes them pay. He seems to touch the jab. Sometimes he's just got to stick a stiff one there so that he knows that his opponent knows that is actually active.
Ahmed kind of held his feet for a little bit longer than we've seen him hold his feet previously. And that kind of 20 seconds. And Gomez thought, oh, finally.
Yeah. It's good. Ahmed's not giving him nothing to really go off. You can see his opponent's more or less waiting for the right chance and waiting for the right sort of shot, but Ahmed's not giving nothing away. Tight defense. He's sharp.
Gomez unwilling to commit as much as he was in the opening round. He's definitely wary of those rapid hands. And he's normally a bit more committed than this. But so far, so good. What do you think he does the best?
I think it's patience. You know, the fact that he doesn't even get drawn in by the crowd. You can see the crowd are cheering for him, and they're shouting, and he still kind of just takes it in his own sort of timing. That just shows a level of maturity, actually.
Do you know what? I never expected you to say patience, but that's absolutely it, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, the punches and stuff, they're always good. They're all good, but a lot of fighters do it. Every fighter does it, and once they put their shots together, they always look good. It's just, what's he doing different to a lot of fighters will do different in their debut, and his patience is definitely in his favour.
But a young man from Slough has been patient so far. He's put his shots together really well, and when he really lets those hands go, he really lets them go, and they are fast. I don't know how quick they come across on your televisions or whatever devices you're watching on, but from ringside a few feet away, he is definitely quick.
Fast. He's high guard than him now, so I feel like he's going to sit on his shots a lot more.
Well, literally, as you said that, he sunk that hook in, fainted with the jab. There it is again. We've just been splattered with sweat at ringside. Thank you very much. Nice uppercut there from Ahmed. Feinted with the jab and then got through with that short backhand uppercut. And the supporters, those who have come to watch Ahmed, are loving this. Every time that he lands something, there's a big burst of noise from different parts of this arena. Lovely work again. 3s and 4s.
They're sitting on the shots a lot more.
You said it at the start. And he is, isn't he? He's really digging his toes into the canvas now.
His reflexes are superb as well. I don't think he's been hit with one clean shot.
And Gomez must never know where or when that next shot's going to come, because he kind of breaks his rhythm up and he never goes to the same place twice and he never goes for that same combination. So he looks like a pretty difficult fighter to defend against. And I think Gomez probably can't wait to hear the sound of that final bell, but he's got 4 minutes until it rings if he makes it there.
He seems to always wince when he gets hit with a body shot. So I feel like there, Ahmed's got to continue to dig downstairs. Doesn't seem like he's even recovered from that body shot Ahmed threw.
Oh, lovely. Left hand over the top there. Gomez just kind of dipped his legs and then got caught with one on the bridge of his nose. Well, hats off to Gomez. He's still having a go there. He is definitely on the back foot and his head snapped back there. Got caught with that straight left hand of Ahmed's. So we go into the last few seconds of this penultimate round.
Good one. Lovely.
Well, let's have a look at this for a moment.
The winner will keep their world title dreams alive, and the loser, their world title dreams, they will turn to ashes.
I want this more than people realise. I think people underestimate what it's taken to get here. There's not a way it's being taken away from me.
I feel like my level was above what he's going to bring. Fabio Wardley does have a big right hand, but I've seen this before. It's nothing new to me.
Credit to what you've done, and I pose a very different problem.
Fabio Wardley's face is going to get punched in.
Well, you can watch the full video of that on the Queensbury YouTube if you wish to. And of course, Fabio Wardley, Joseph Parker tops this card later on. But for now, we're in the 4th and final round of this one. Zain Ahmed of Slough against Angel Gomez of Nicaragua, who's had his work cut out. He's been caught left, right and centre, body shots, head shots. And Ahmed doing a fantastic job in his professional debut. Both defensively and on the attack, mixing it up, head and body.
I'm expecting to see a hungrier Ahmed. Last round of his debut. I know he's going to want to make a little statement. He really has, but I know he's going to want to leave a good impression on everybody. So it'll be interesting to see how he finishes this fight.
Even at moments when he's gone for it, like now, he still doesn't look like he's looking for it, does he? He kind of does it in a professional way.
He does, he does. Goes back to what we were saying about his patience.
Nice body shot there as he just slipped the straight right hand of Angel Gomez, who finds himself in the ropes and doesn't want to be there for too long. He has changed that angle, but he's trying to fight fire with fire. So tip of the hat to him.
Oh, his opponent's gone southpaw. Oh, okay.
A change of mind.
He changed his mind pretty quick.
The left-hand side of Angel Gomez just starting to redden there, because over and over again that lead hook of Ahmed has gone up in under that left elbow.
Beautiful back.
And there it is again.
This
Lovely right hand in the corner there, and Angel Gomez needs to get himself out of there. But that was most...
That looked
like a slip to me.
That looked like a slip to me as well.
I don't agree with the referee on that one. Zain Ahmed is being counted for that. He's clearly unhappy with it. And that'll probably give him the bit between his teeth to go for it a bit more now in the last 50 seconds of his fourth and final round.
You can see Gomez shouting something in the corner, but as soon as they come together, you can see Ahmed's fine, so he's still got his back to the ropes. From this angle, it looked like Ahmed slipped there after throwing his combination. Sometimes that's why balance matters, especially in these 4-round fights, because that there would make it a 10-8 round if they had Gomez winning that. But he hasn't. I think Ahmed still won this round, so I think they'll make that a 9-9 round.
But there is the sound to symbolise the last few seconds. Angel Gomez survives another one as he does the alley shuffle in the corner. He's been a good opponent for Zain Ahmed, who was not happy with being counted there, but I don't think that'll go against him.
It won't go against him. He won that fight flush out, but I can imagine it's rather than it going 100% in his favour in the debut, he looks at it like it's a little dent maybe. And they may use that against him in future if he's ever involved in a big fight and he goes down. They may say, oh, he went down on his debut before, so I know he won't be happy with that. God forbid he does go down, but never wish on somebody going over.
Absolutely, I know what you're saying. Angel Gomez, very pleased to hear the final bell there.
So if you look in his corner, you've got Frank Hughes there, just trying to talk to him and speak some rationale into it. It's funny, Frank Hughes was in my corner actually for my debut, my ex-coach. Good coach, very good coach, and a lot of sense. He does speak the truth and he speaks a lot of sense.
You need that. Well, Thomas Driver has the scorecard, so let's hear what it reads.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecard. Our referee in charge, Mark Bates, has it 38-37 for your winner. And successful in his pro debut, Zain the Hurricane Ahmed.
Zain Ahmed gets a decision, and we are now joined by Alois Jr. Alois, good to see you. How are you, my mate?
I'm all good, my friend. How you doing? You good?
We're all good. It's just starting to fill up here. You've missed a couple of good fights so far, and we've still got a couple to go. So it's good to have you on the commentary table. You enjoy doing this, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. I love watching boxing, man. We're all fighters, right?
Absolutely. In fact, the first time that we worked together was actually at the O2 Arena, and it was the undercard of Joe Joyce versus Derek Chisora.
Oh,
but we'll come back to that in a moment because we're ready for our next fight, and I've been told to go to Thomas Driver, so over to him.
Let's first welcome to the ring, Lakshmi Zaragoza Contreras.
We're en route to the ring. Here in the centre of the O2 Arena is Mexican Contreras from the fighting city of Guadalajara. The 28-year-old is a tough cookie. He absolutely loves doing what he does, and he gives it everything every time he steps into that ring, and it will be no different this evening.
And now let's welcome to the ring, Tony Lightning Curtis Jr.
Here comes a young man who goes by the name of Tony Curtis Jr. Very talented, turned over as a pro at just 16 years old. And went over to Mexico for his debut, a debut which he actually lost, but a debut which has made him stronger. He spent a lot of time with Roy Jones Jr., who's been an inspiration to him over the years. And after his last fight on the undercard of Ryan Garner versus Salvador Jimenez, I said to him, do you feel the pressure with a legend in your corner and lots of people talking your name? And he said, pressure, I don't even know how to spell it, which is one of my favourite lines in boxing so far.
And I think he's wearing the Hitman shorts here, if I'm not wrong.
He is indeed. What a great tribute.
Exciting.
To Ricky the Hitman Hatton. Roy Jones Jr. gives a big smile there. Love to see it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout scheduled 6 rounds in the super flyweight division, brought to you by Frank Warren for Queensberry, along with their great sponsors. 32 Red, Unibet, Riyadh Season, The Ring, That Prize Guy, Global Next Trade, Bound Nutrition, and Flex Miles. Our referee in charge and scoring this contest will be Bernard Oyet. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing black with gold and weighed in officially at 116.7 pounds. Coming to us from Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, he has 17 professional bouts to his credit. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Lakshmi Zaragoza Contreras. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, he comes to the ring wearing blue with white and weighed in officially at 115.15 pounds. Hailing from London, England, he has a professional record of 11 wins, just 1 defeat. 3 of his 11 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Tony Lightning Curtis Jr.
Gentlemen, keep it clean, keep it professional at all times, and remember to protect yourself at all times. Shake hands, good luck, go.
Well, here we go. 6 3-minute rounds in the super flyweight division. Tony Curtis Jr. versus Mexico's Contreras.
Oh, that's a eager to go.
First start.
Contreras boxing in those black and gold shorts in the orthodox stance. Tony Curtis Jr. with a tribute to Ricky the Hitman Hatton in those classic blue and black shorts.
Whipped the left hook to the body like the Hitman a second ago.
Gotta love it.
Good job.
Good agile work so far from Curtis Jr. He's just circling around the centre of the ring, just popping that jab out.
Funny, he's got this Roy Jones type of style where he keeps his hands out a bit more, uses the right hand to use that as a measuring stick as well, which is one of the favourite things that Roy Jones used to love doing. A lot of fighters don't do that, but Roy Jones did it and he made it cool.
He puts his combinations very well too, is all you can see.
Well, as the story goes, Roy Jones Jr. saw him training when he was even younger than he is now, and was quite keen for him to turn over as a pro sooner rather than later, and that's one of the reasons why he made his pro debut at 16 over in Mexico, which didn't go his way, as I said, in the ring walk, but he's learnt plenty along the way. I spoke to Roy Jones Jr. Cool, I'm name dropping now, aren't I? After the after his last fight, and he's impressed with him and thinks that he can go a long way. He's got some silky skills.
Definitely he does. I like that Jerry sticks to the stomach there, the solar plex shot.
Contreras looks a little bit hesitant at the moment, doesn't he?
He does.
Throwing the odd shot.
And the shots he is throwing don't seem to be anywhere close to the target.
Thing is, shots like that, Alois, Tony Curtis can see them coming a mile off, can't he?
Absolutely. When you're a sharp fighter yourself, you know, you can see wide looping hooks, and then you can exploit them later on in the fight, which I can see him doing so.
David, is Curtis Jr. just trying to kind of draw his man in here?
That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. I think you just got to stamp his authority a bit more, though. You're giving your opponent a bit too much.
Does it come back to that line you said earlier, first and third?
Exactly that.
I think the jab to the body, if he establishes it more, he can do a lot with it.
Yeah, I like to see Tony Curtis put his head down a bit more, though. You know, he's boxing his chin a little bit high.
Do you agree with that, Alois?
Yeah, I can see so.
Well, he's certainly in good company in that corner. Those of you who have watched boxing for a very long time will know that man who's giving him instructions at the moment. But he has got a tough Mexican in the opposite corner. And he is just 19 years old, which is still incredibly young. He's incredibly young.
He's a teenager, you know, he's very young. He's learning, and where he's learning on the job in a place where it's expensive. You can learn as an amateur, but it's expensive when you learn as a pro, because if you do make a mistake, it can be an expensive mistake.
I asked him about that pressure question. Does he feel the pressure? I think when we speak about fighters, I think when I say we, it's the royal we in terms of media. I think we can be guilty of putting a bit too much pressure on someone so young. They've got such a long way to go, haven't they?
Definitely.
And you guys would have been on the receiving end of that as well.
Yeah, it depends on how people see it. You know, do they see fighting as pressure? But you know, do you look at other things and, you know, fighting is not pressure. There's a lot of people out here trying to make bills, and they got to pay bills and they're trying to make ends meet. That's pressure. They've got a fighter to look after for. That's pressure.
Exactly. It's all about perspective. A jab got through there from Contreras.
See, here's where I like to see Curtis just keep his chin down a little bit more. See, if you actually see his chin's kind of high, he's got the backhand covering it, which is good. But like you said, Contreras, he likes to throw them winding shots. And
he does. They're almost like cricket bowls, some of them.
Literally, he's aiming for the moon.
He might hit it. No, he hasn't. He's definitely tightened up. Yeah, he's definitely tightened up.
Good footwork.
But if Contreras is going to get in, he needs to throw more than those single shots, doesn't he? He needs to kind of just almost.
This works good for Curtis. See that there? You see that backhand touching? That backhand touch is a Roy Jones Jr. thing.
Good feint. I think it'll get more success if he goes to the body more. There you go.
Curtis Jr. most definitely being patient here. Just bouncing around on that back foot, almost kind of waiting for his man to try his luck so he can punish him for it. And Contreras has tightened up those shots. They certainly aren't as wild as they were in the opening round, but they're still not really getting through with much success.
Yeah, he's struggling to find his range. Not doing enough, really.
So putting the shoe on the other foot, does Curtis Jr. need to do a bit more here? He's throwing a good 1 or 2 shot combination, and one of them might slip through, but there isn't much more than that at the moment, is there?
I don't think he needs to do more. I just think he needs to throw a bit more punches. The movement's good. The actual punches he's throwing are good. He's just got to throw it in bunches.
I think more body work would help him to get him out of there. When someone's coming forward like this and they're protecting the head quite much, going to the body will like change their perception of where the shots are coming, and then obviously you can mix up.
Well, let's have a look at what we've got coming up later in terms of the main event, and that is the tail of the tape. I spoke to David about this earlier. Alois, what's your thoughts and feelings around the main event? Who have you got?
Oh, Fabio, I've got my teammate 110%.
I mean, of course, I know he's your teammate, and we spoke about the power earlier. I know that's been a concept and a theme of this, but you can't ignore that with Fabio, can you? No. Has he got it in him to box with someone like Joseph Parker if he needs to, though?
I honestly, I don't see it being a boxing match for Fabio Wardley. I would say he finds a particular moment and just exploits it. He's more so good at pinpoint moments. Yeah, that's my take on it.
And that's understandable. 94.7% knockout ratio. And listen, that's what puts bums on seats when it comes to boxing.
Especially as a heavyweight.
It's exciting stuff. But here is Tony Curtis Jr. in round 3 of 6 in the super flyweight division here at the O2 Arena. And he starts this round in a very similar way that he started the 2 previous rounds. Nice and light on those toes in those Ricky Hatton shorts. But I've got to say, the tempo's gone up ever so slightly. He's been busy with that jab. Punches and bunches was the word which David used. And we're seeing a little bit more of it. Not bundles more, but it's visible.
I honestly think Curtis Jr. needs more body shots. When he does go to the body, it changes the whole dynamic of the fight.
He's a bit head heavy at the moment, isn't he? His head hunted him.
Yeah, normal, especially, but he's young in his career, so it's expected.
Nicely done there from Curtis Jr.
I'm more surprised that he managed to fill out the shorts for the Hitman. Very surprising, to be fair. He must be wearing the big wind protector.
Indeed. Good movement there from Curtis Jr. And Contreras kind of just smiles at him. And we can tell what's going on in his brain. My Spanish isn't great, but I reckon it's something along the lines of, will you just stand still for a moment?
Yeah, that's what he wants, right?
He does, but he certainly ain't getting it. This is his style, Curtis Jr. It is very Roy Jones, isn't it?
It is, of course, and it would be when you've got him coaching you. You know, if you've got somebody teaching you a certain way, then you're going to be like that. If you hang around certain people and they talk a certain way, you'll talk like them. So he's in good company. I think Roy Jones Jr. is, of course, an elite fighter, one of my favourite fighters. So having him as an actual coach is phenomenal. I think Curtis Jr. is doing a very good job using his feet, though. Every time he sees his opponent trying to bring one over the top, he just steps back. See there? He just steps back, just to see that, just enough to make them fall short. Not too much, but just enough.
But does he counter often enough after he makes a miss? That's the challenge, isn't it?
They make it. They're missing, but they're not paying for it.
It's half an inch. You got to make them miss just half an inch, and you can just capitalise it.
So in terms of thinking like a fighter then, he doesn't do it that often in terms of he makes a miss, really good. It looks effective, it is effective. He doesn't capitalise on it. Is there any reason why he wouldn't be capitalising on it? Is there a psychological thing there?
Maybe so. I was just about to say, maybe so. Maybe there's a psychological thing where he feels like it's still not safe for him to come up with his own shot and he'd rather just make them miss. Maybe he's waiting for him to get a bit more tired and he can pick it up on it later on. But Yeah, he definitely should be doing it though.
I personally think he's making a miss too big, and when you make someone miss too big, you can't capitalize on it because you got an extra second to catch up on it.
Is it a case of sometimes admiring your work from a defensive point of view a bit too much?
Yeah, I believe so. It feels lovely making someone miss, making them look like a clown, you know. But again, this is the sport, we need to capitalize on it. So yeah.
But it's even better, obviously, if you can land a nice straight shot afterwards, which makes the head snap back and the crowd go, ooh.
Oh, absolutely. Nothing like it.
But what he's got in the locker is good, Curtis Jr. Good movement. That double jab, he's effective. He triples it up. He makes a miss, which we just said. I guess it's just the punishment side, which will come. That was lovely work there.
Nothing like fighting, right?
You love it, don't you?
Oh, I love it.
That's what I was going to say earlier on our first commentary here on that Joyce Chisora undercard. You were an excited man that night.
Yeah, definitely.
And there's a IBO World Cruiserweight title fighting, well,
tonight,
a few fights later on. You'll have your eyes on that one, Alois.
Definitely. Well, that'll be tasty. No Diddy as well.
Well, Curtis Jr. just tiny little movements of his feet. He goes a long way with it, pops that jab out. I mean, it wins you fights, doesn't it, what he's doing?
But it does. It wins you fights, but at the same time, you want to win the crowd over, don't you?
That's
at the same time, you can't be too harsh on him. He's 19 years old. And this is a dangerous sport he's involved in.
And let's not forget as well, in the super flyweight division, it's not often that you see people get knocked over left, right and centre in this division, is it? So
yeah, exactly.
This really is more about that kind of boxing ability. And Curtis Jr. has got bags of that. Contreras just following him around the ring and just he's struggling to keep him in the same place for any longer than a second.
He is.
And I don't think we're going to get to, well, I think we will get to the 6th round, but I don't think much would have changed. You could almost replay a round to someone and tell him it's the same round and they believe you. I don't mean that negatively either.
I'd like to see Curtis walk forward a bit more though.
He got caught with a left hook there.
Yeah.
That's the first shot I've seen Contreras get through with properly.
Maybe he shouldn't walk forward.
Blame David Adelaide. Well, this place is just starting to fill up a bit now. And for anyone who's been to the O2 Arena to watch the boxing, it really is a great venue for it. And there have been some fantastic fights here over the years, heavyweight and not heavyweight. Remember watching a couple of David Haye fights here. Everyone's got a David Haye memory.
Everyone does, don't they? I remember watching David Haye and Tony Bellew.
Cool, that was a rivalry, wasn't it?
It was.
For the weight categories, people, look, I mean this respectfully as well, that attracts the casuals in more than any. It's your guys' weight categories, the heavyweight and the cruiserweight, isn't it?
Why not? Because that's where knockouts happen.
People are thirsty for it.
Yeah. That's all people care about, blood hungry.
Well, plenty will be admiring the boxing ability here of young Tony Curtis Jr., who is joined in the corner by legendary Roy Jones Jr., and he comes out in this round just popping that jab out again. A little bit faster in terms of tempo. Dipped down nicely there on his left leg and then lifted that weight up and threw that left uppercut well. And poor old Contreras cannot make an entrance because every single time he tries an attack, it's broken down. And he's made to miss because Curtis Jr.'s movement is just a bit too much for him at all points. Bit of a wild right hand there from the Mexican. Is that what Contreras has got to do? Like he just did then, just kind of sat tight. He let Curtis Jr. come in, throw his shot, and then he tried to catch him off guard. Is that the only way he's going to catch him?
He's got to throw more than one shot as well. He
did it again there, then he left hook.
He is. He's got to just throw more than one shot and initiate something. And all his shots seem to be coming around the corner. They all seem to be swinging shots.
He's not jabbing whatsoever.
I'm not seeing no jabs.
Junior's looking a bit tense though. I think he's loading up on quite a bit.
Contreras just trying to get hold of Curtis Jr. there. He'd love to fight him on the inside of the pocket, but that is not Curtis Jr.'s style. He just throws that long jab out over and over again. Well, we've been shouting for a few more shots from the Mexican, and he threw 2 or 3 then, and needs to do more of that.
I think they can hear us, because everything they seem to be saying they're doing.
I like how you two took the credit. Curtis Jr. just holding his feet a little bit more than he was before. Maybe that's a tiny bit of tiredness kicking in.
I don't think so. I think that he's just trying to get him out of there.
Do you think you can get him out of there, Alois?
I don't know. I don't think so.
David doesn't think so.
No, I think it will be a point swing. Good performance, but it will be a point swing, I believe. "13 fights, 3 knockouts. Curtis Jr.'s career is going very good. I mean, he's obviously got that 1 defeat, but it doesn't mean nothing. But yeah, and then 3 knockouts, you can see he's more of a boxer than he is a puncher, which isn't bad whatsoever. He's 19 years old. He's still got to grow and fill up. And yeah, that man strength hasn't come yet.
That's it. It's that man strength side of it, isn't it? And you could look up lots of fighters who have started at his age. Well, not many do start at age, but they certainly do in Mexico. And they weren't stopping people or knocking people over that young.
Yeah, definitely. Everyone's trying to be the next Canal.
That was a good choice there to kind of, step back and throw the right hand, but he just threw it a bit too heavy.
Yeah, I agree.
I tell you what Curtis Jr. does well is he throws that lead uppercut well. Kind of dips down on his lead foot and just chucks it up there.
Looks more like a left hook, but yeah.
He swings it.
That's better. That's all right.
I think Curtis Jr. is actually liking it. He's getting a few more shots back there from the Mexican.
That's better.
Nice left hook to the body, that.
Cheeky.
Why not? Make it entertaining. Why not?
I don't like the way he pulls back. I feel like he can get caught in between that.
It could be dangerous. It could be, because he does pull back with his chin up.
Hands down as well.
Yeah, it could be dangerous. I feel like he has Contreras' number, so he probably sees, or feels like he sees the shot coming. But at the same time, you never know with boxing. It could be one of them ones where you get caught with something you just don't see.
Yep.
Especially those wild shots, which we saw earlier on. They're the kind of ones that you switch off for a second, they could land on your chin.
Definitely. They come outside your field of vision. It's weird. Oof.
Well, minute to go in this one. Round 6 of 6. A good performance from Curtis Jr.
He's got somebody in his corner telling him what punch shot to throw. But it's good advice, if I'm honest. Which is establish the jab, stick the jab on him. The right hand he always throws seems to not be straight. He's got to throw it a bit more straighter so he can get right through the middle, control his guard drop. There we go.
He is digging in a bit more now, is Curtis Jr. When I said about him holding his feet, I think you were right, Aloy. He's just trying to kind of let those hands go a bit more and dig his feet into the canvas.
Good head control there.
The last 15 seconds. The man from Guadalajara, Mexico, Contreras, will very likely see this one out. But Curtis Jr. showed us that the ability is there.
Definitely.
The skills are there.
He's got a bright future ahead of him. Like we said, 19 years old, learning on the job. And sometimes when you're fighting these experienced journeymen, they can make the fight look ugly.
We saw it earlier on with Tom Sparta, didn't we? And they kind of nullify those attacks, and even some of the best fighters, really, really good fighters, they can make them look rubbish almost, can't they? Because they just make you look like you're ineffective, and you're not ineffective.
They're good spoilers. They're good at covering up, you know. It's very hard for someone, especially new in their career, to be able to get through a tight defense like that.
Well, I'm sure there will be a debrief with the team, and there'll be lots that they were pleased with and stuff that they can improve on. But Thomas Schreiber is ready with the scores, so we shall head over to him now and hear what he's got to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds of boxing, our referee Bernard Oyet scores it 60-54 for your winner, Tony Lightning Curtis Jr. Let's welcome to the ring, Jake the Yorkshire Warrior Pollard.
Well, here comes those famous St. George flags on the away corner fighter, Jake Pollard, who is notorious of going around the country and being in the opposite corner and always does a sterling job. He's a seriously tough man, and there's not many who have come up who haven't boxed him.
Ring, Hassan Shooter Ishak.
And here he is, Hassan Ishak, made his professional debut on that Ryan Garner card in Bournemouth a few months ago and stopped his man in the process, a tough Mexican, and looked very good in doing it, extremely sharp. You can see why they call him Shooter. Trained by H at the New Era Boxing Gym, and he is certainly one to keep an eye on.
I actually know Hassan. You know, we train in the same gym. Very experienced.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout 4 rounds in the
big
super
puncher.
bantamweight division. A referee in charge and scoring the
Calling for early
contest,
stoppage?
Mark Bates.
I hope so.
Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing white with red and weighted officially at 124.10 pounds. Coming to us from Bradford, England, he is a veteran of 100 professional bouts. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jake the Yorkshire Warrior
he's at about 52 minutes. I already know this man's tough.
And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner. He comes in the ring wearing black with orange and weighed in officially at 124.6 pounds. Hailing from Slough, England, he is undefeated with one win. That one win comes by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Hassan Shooter Ishan.
Gentlemen, when I tell you to break, you'll take a step back immediately. Keep your punches up, obey my commands, and protect yourselves at all times. Good luck to you both, gents.
Well, here we go. This is the last fight of the prelims. Hassan Ishak versus Jake Pollard. 4 3-minute rounds in the super bantamweight division. Hassan Ishak boxing in those black and orange shorts, and the unmistakable St. George's shorts of the veteran Jake Pollard. 100 fights that man has had. Only 5 times has anyone been able to get him out of it.
That's a serious record.
It is, and I feel like when and hopefully if Hassan does do the job, it will show levels and it will show everyone, of course, the trajectory he's on.
I like the jab to the body, love it.
What we saw with Ishak in that debut of his is he kind of started slow and steady, still did plenty, and then kind of just upped the work rate as the rounds went by. He didn't necessarily look for it, but he found it and stopped a Mexican who had never been stopped before. So it's quite a statement in a professional debut.
Hassan's you can see like he's very calm in there.
He is, he's a good listener. One thing about Hassan is times I see him sparring and I'm giving him advice and I'm telling him what to and what not to, and he's very receptive.
How old is he? Does any of you lot know?
21.
Oh yeah, man, he's got a good career coming.
Most definitely.
See it.
He got a big following with him as well today. Very good ticket seller.
Lovely body shot from Hassan Ishak. Right hand sunk it into the body of Jake Pollard, but trust me, he has felt many of those over the years. And there is another one.
He's wincing right now with the body shots.
There we go, Hassan. Jab him though.
Yeah, once he keeps going around the side, once he brings it up, it's a different story. Oh, good body shot.
Good, beautiful body shot. You see, look, his opponent's holding on now. It's clearly felt the power.
Good jab.
Good work there from Ishak. Just kind of ever so slightly edged forward and sunk that right hand into the tempo of Pollard, who kind of stands there with that tight guard and just tries to soak it up, and he's definitely got his work cut out here.
He's trying to give him a takedown.
Good work from the sharpshooter here.
Good feint.
Up and down.
Good control there with the lead arm from Ishak.
Hassan just not got to allow him to get comfortable clinching him where he feels like he can clinch whenever he wants to.
In southpaw as well, it's very coordinated.
The last few seconds, been a good round so far for Hassan.
Yeah, I haven't seen much of Hassan, but Hassan's good. I like him.
He is good, and I'll tell you, his coach H.
The opponent's feeling it.
It said to Dev, I think I've got one. And what he was speaking about was, of course, Hassan Ishak.
Yep.
And he has got one with him, isn't he, so far? Because he is super sharp.
Yeah, Ishak's he's young, but he's mature. He asks a lot of questions in the gym. You know, he's willing to always learn, and he puts in a graft. He definitely does. He wants it.
But Lloyd, what do you think young fighters need to do to kind of stand out these days? Because there's lots of very, very good talented fighters. We've seen loads of them tonight. What have you got to do to stand out? I mean, you're standing out, right?
I'm knocking people out generally.
And that's what you've got to do to stand out.
I agree.
Simple as that.
It's as simple as that. Boxing's not hard. A lot of people make it harder than what it is. You know, we're not doing algebra. We're fighting.
We're kind of doing algebra in the ring, kind of.
Yeah.
Problem solving, yeah.
You got to problem solve, and by problem solve, you got to let your hands go.
Here we go, round 2 of 4. Hassan Ishak straight to the centre of the ring.
Letting your hands go is like doing the working out. Getting a knockout is like getting the answer.
Oh man, I want to knock someone out now, bro.
Listen to these two guys.
Look at that. Good body shot. The thrill you get from a knockout is more than the thrill you'll get from anything else.
Trust me.
Bump him off you! Bump him! Don't let him get comfortable there.
Good body work there from Ishak.
Lovely.
And that was a nice right uppercut that, and Pollard definitely felt that, and he got caught with 3 or 4 straight afterwards.
Beautiful work from sharpshooter here.
I tell you what, multiple times I've seen Jake Pollard take a barrage of punches and he still comes back. And that is a no knockdown.
Ishak's got a very good coach in H, Hussefa Iqbal. He's a very good coach, understands boxing, and does his preparations very good. He doesn't want to be in it.
Go downstairs.
Ishak edging onto his man here, just kind of stalking him around the ring. But Pollard trying to grab hold of him at every opportunity.
Go downstairs.
And not throwing too much back at the moment.
I don't see this going past the 3rd round. I don't. If it really halfway through the 2nd, I don't see him surviving another round.
I don't want to see him waste shots though.
Exactly that. He's wasting shots by. Good. Yes, Papa. He's wasting shots by just hitting him on his gloves and hitting his arms. You don't want to do that.
Schoolboy errors, those.
Yeah. That just comes with experience.
Now Pollard just kind of tightening up that guard now.
Lovely.
Has barely thrown too much back now, but he got caught with a decent right uppercut there, and he's just going to take his time as he rises up.
He's done.
And Mark Bates is going to call it off. And Hassan Ishak is 2-0 as a professional. Both fights have been won by knockout, and he becomes a 6th man to stop Jake Pollard within the distance in 101 fights. A statement in his right.
Statement, and like I said, when and if he gets the knockout, it will make a big statement. It just goes to show he's definitely a banger. You know what? We already know that because we see him training, but I feel like everyone else is starting to see it now.
Look, I just asked you guys what you got to do to stand out. You just said it's not algebra what we're doing. We had a bit of a debate around that, but it's about stopping people. Alois, we've just seen him stop him. I know this guy ain't a world beater, but he's a seriously tough away corner fighter. So, in its own right, that's a good performance, right?
Absolutely, great performance. For where he's in his career, he's making the right steps and just continually making the right steps to be where you want to be, and that's obviously for him world level, or the best in the world.
Good for him, and what a stage to do it on. Well, Mark Bates,
definitely.
Look at the two fighters together. Thomas Schreiber has the official time, so I shall hand over to him.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the official time. 2 minutes 14 seconds of round number 2. Our referee in charge, Mark Bates, waves off the contest. Therefore, your winner by way of technical knockout and still undefeated, Hassan Shooter Ishak.
Well, a big congratulations to Hassan Ishak, another stoppage. A fantastic undercard prelims so far. The action continues on DAZN from 6:30. A big thanks to Alois Jr., to David Adelaide, and enjoy the rest of the boxing here from the O2.
I am the avoided fighter in the heavyweight picture, and I back myself against any fighter out there.
I don't need to be perfect for 12 rounds. I just need to be perfect for that one moment.
I believe people avoid fighting me because I'm dangerous, and I have belief.
There's a lot on the line, there's a lot at stake. And someone's getting knocked out.
So let's get it on.